What's up, guys? Welcome to Life Knowledge. My name is Justin Alphabet. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Today we're going to be talking about how to control your anger. Okay, so this is a video that I have wanted to make for a long time. There's kind of a stereotype about people with red hair where we often get associated with the emotion anger, because typically our skin is very pale and you can see when our cheeks get red. I don't know about like all people, but oftentimes, red face is associated with anger or being flushed or things like that. And when I was a kid, people would make fun of me a lot and call me a tomato or carrot top or mean names or things that would hurt my feelings, or girls would flirt with me and I was embarrassed and you could see my face was red and things like that. And sometimes it would just be red, like it wasn't like anything I could control. But the point that I wanted to bring up about it was just that it's easier to control your anger than you might realize. And I'm going to teach you guys how. And just want to let you know that I've been through this myself many times, and I've had to learn how to control it so I can teach you guys how to do this. This is something I've got for you guys. So here's what we're going to do. First off, I'm going to teach you guys about a little bit about the background of emotions and about like who we are as humans. So if you take a look here, this is the yin yang symbol. And a lot of people know something about it. Some people don't know anything about it. They just know it's like a peaceful symbol or a good symbol or whatever, right? But the yin yang has two halves, and there are two halves to the whole, just like with all of us. And you may or may not have heard of the Native American story, or the story about the two wolves. There's a story where this young boy is being taught about how there's two wolves inside of him, right? There's a black wolf and a white wolf, just like in the yin yang symbol. And in the story, the mentor, or the person that he talks to, maybe it was his father, says to him, or he asks first off, which wolf is the wolf that wins, the good wolf or the bad wolf? And the mentor, the father figure person, says to him, the one you feed. And that's good advice to a point, and I don't fully agree with it. I'm going to tell you why in a second. But I want you to think about something for a second. You have anger for a reason, right? Anger is one of your emotions, and it's in your body for a reason. The universe or God or, the supreme creator, the great spirit, whoever you believe in, gave you that emotion for a reason. You have it for a reason. But typically the reason is not serving you any longer. So I want you to think about back in caveman days, right? Back in the Mesopotamian, era where saber-toothed tigers were, everywhere, and trying to kill you. You'd have to use that anger to fight off a saber-toothed tiger, right? Anger wasn't bad in that situation. You had to fight wars. You had to, do things to, protect yourself and your family and your country and your kin, your extended family and your group, your tribe, right? So the anger wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing. And so I'm going to teach you how you can use it today as a good thing. So today things are different. You don't have to necessarily go out and, kill saber-toothed tigers. You don't have to chase down deer and hunt deer, barehanded. You don't have to do things like that, but you do have to live your everyday life and, succeed in life in a different way. And since it's different, it's a little bit harder to apply. So, with the yin yang symbol, there's both the positive and the negative emotions, right? We have, joy, peace, love, happiness, mainly peace, right? And goodness and good times and happiness and whatever. And then on the opposite side, we have anger, lust, hatred, fear, um, pain, hurt, those kind of emotions. And if you hold the symbol sideways like this, those would be like negative emotions, and these would be positive emotions. And so here would be baseline, right? Or homeostasis, or centered, or balanced, or complete is or perfect, or whatever. There's a lot of different words you can use to say that a person is whole or complete or centered or balanced or in homeostasis. And if you know anything about science, or water, right? Like we have both really, alkaline water or very acidic water, but you want to have a pH or water, level that's right in the middle. You don't want it to be too alkaline. You don't want it to be too acidic, because both are toxic. Both aren't good for humans. Being centered and balanced is good for humans, strangely enough. And when you go into your anger, or your anger spikes, that's a negative emotion that's taking over. It's taking you out of balance, right? You're becoming too heightened in your emotions. So the thing that you want to do with that is figure out a way to not let it control you. And the way that I've done that for myself is a couple different ways. First off, acknowledging that you are angry, right? So let's say someone says, like a bully says something very unkind to you. You're going to, and it hurts your feelings. Like someone tells me, I hate your red hair, right? First off, I love my red hair. I love it. I'm thankful for it. It makes me it makes me who I am, and it's a part of who I am. So somebody tells me they don't like it, I have to realize that's their problem, right? So the first line of defense is coming into your own frame. Your body is a frame for your energy. It's a capsule. It holds all your energy, right? And you can push your energy out to people. Like right now, I'm pushing my energy out to you guys so that you can feel my energy and connect with me. And I connect with my family all the time. I connect with my loved ones, my friends, my people that I come in contact with every day, right? Each of them connect with me in different ways, in an energetic way. And what's cool about this is you can also cut that off. It's called coming back to center, right? Because when so many people are taking your energy away from you, you don't have the energy to hold within yourself. So what you're going to do is imagine that you're a puppet on a string, right? That you got a string coming out of your head and strings coming out of your body. And you're going to send out a bubble. You're going to send out a bubble like just around your entire body, a clear bubble. And then you're going to cut off all of those strings from the bubble and pull that bubble back inside your chest. And you're going to hold that bubble and you're going to shrink it down into, an energy where no one can touch it. You're going to hold it there. And this can protect your energy from people who are going to try to suck away your energy, right? It's a good way to hold your energy and keep your energy inside you. And keep your energy away from like energy sucking people. Like they'll take away your energy. On the opposite side of that, what you can also do is use that energy and let that energy out later. So for example, like let's say someone says something that affects you and you're really heated about it. You can do two things. One, that energy is overflowing, right? So imagine you have like a cup full of, or like a little vial full of anger juice. They've tipped that anger juice over and it's overflowing now, right? So you're losing control of your anger because they've put that last drop into that anger juice and now it's tipped over, or it's tipping out. So what you can do is you can hold back that anger, hold back that that hatred, that hurt, whatever you got to do. Hold it and hold it in and keep it down. and do some breathing exercises. Breathing will help alleviate the pressure of the anger. So just take some deep breaths. There's 2 ways to get back to baseline, and I learned about this technique recently from this guy on Lewis Howe's podcast. So I'll put his name here, but he talks about how, if you breathe in twice, go it'll put you back to a baseline very quickly, of a baseline emotion, which is where we want to get. We don't want to spike our anger or spike any other emotions too badly. So that's apparent in children. If you've ever seen children when they've been crying, right? Like, I've actually witnessed this in my younger siblings, where like sometimes, they get little sniffles where, like, after they've been crying and then they've been, sad, they're like, like they're trying to, calm themselves down, and that's how it works. Like, it actually works because it works for children, which means that it also works for adults. So you can use that technique to help you get back to baseline. So, you can imperceptibly kind of like breathe if someone's in your face or whatever. First off, walk away if you're going to try to hurt them or they're going to try to hurt you, and get to a place where you can get yourself back to a balanced level of emotion. Second off, this is my favorite part, actually. This is kind of cool. I actually smile when people try to hurt my feelings now, because of what I've learned recently from the yin yang. So if you look right here, there's both a white dot and a black dot on the negative and the positive sides of the yin yang, which represent emotion, right? So with the negative emotion, there's a white dot, which means that you can use the negative for a positive purpose, right? And with the positive side, there's a black dot, which means you can use the positive for negative. You have to be careful of that, because all things will balance themselves out. That's the law of karma. That's the law of, the universe, the law of attraction, whatever laws you believe in. What goes around comes around is what we all know. So an example of that is, first off, like, if I use my anger, like, let's say I'm in the gym, right? I can let out my anger in a positive outlet, I can use that to fuel me. I can think back on that moment when that bully was in my face, spitting on me or trying to hurt me or whatever, saying negative things to me. I can think back to that moment, and I can push that weight even harder. I can use that to fuel me. You can put that as a log on your fire, to fuel your fire, to better yourself, right? When people don't believe in you, when they push you down, when they try to hold you down, when they hurt you, when they betray you, when they cheat on you, and they, everything that people do that hurts us, like when we have the best intentions, you can use these negative emotions to make yourself better. You can put all that negative energy and that drive and that passion into education. You can learn the education to become a millionaire, and then who's laughing now, right? All that negative things that people, put on you, you turned around and made it positive. That is a win. That's a win, right? So do that. Use that fuel and make sure it's legal, moral, and ethical. That's important. Don't ever hurt other people, but use that fuel to fuel your fire to grow, because you can use your negative emotions to stretch you, to push you to heights and places that you've never been before. On the opposite side, with the positive emotions, you have to be careful as well, because for example, like, if you think about the Crusades, in the Crusades, the Christians used God as a reason to kill people. So you can see that, like, it's the positive side. They're using the positivity to do a bad thing. So you have to be careful that you don't use good things to do bad things. You can't betray people's trust. You can't hurt people with good intent, and make sure your intentions are always good and right. Because, sometimes those good things can become bad things. And that's oftentimes, why nice guys get hurt and things like that, is because they're staying too much on the good side, and then they start to enter the black side, the bad side, and they understand that, they have to go through this negative cycle to come back to the good, because you know, nicety is sometimes seen as weakness in our world. But every person has to go through that. Every person has to experience that, because our brain has two halves to a whole. You know, like our emotions have two halves to the whole. Our, you know, thoughts have positives and negatives, just like how the yin yang has positive and negative. Our emotions have positives and negatives, and just like how, you know, there's the yin yang that has positives and negatives. You have to use both sides. You can't just focus on the good all the time. You have to use the negative to also drive you back to the positive. So use your negative emotions constructively. Use your positive emotions constructively, and don't abuse them. And that's it. That's the secret. So that's how you control your anger. And let's recap real quick. So we have one, you know, the breathing technique. Make sure you know, do the. Also ask yourself why you feel this way. Sometimes, like if I'm in the moment and I feel anger, I'm like being hurt, I quickly ask myself, why am I feeling this way? I don't have to feel this way. Also, the bubble, where you cut off the strings, you protect your energy, you keep that from soul suckers. People are trying to steal your energy. Use the bubble technique and cut off those energetic strings. Ask yourself why. You know, getting clear on why you're angry is also important, so that you can address that issue a little bit more deeply. And I have other videos that you can watch to help with that. And the breathing technique as well as using those negative emotions and holding them in for a temporary amount of time till you're ready to let them out in a constructive place, like the gym, like you know, passion for education, leveling up, exercise and running, those kind of things. Constructive, healthy ways to let out anger. So that's what you're gonna do. Let's get on it. Have the day you deserve, and let's level up. Comment below if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.